James. What do you say, everybody? Thank you so much for coming out to Metallica. Now that we're live, I'm Luke Brutus from Sirius XM. To those of you watching on camera, say hello to the people in the pit. 300 Met Club fans who are here tonight. Now tomorrow, 60,000 people, but tonight just you and the band. They're gonna play. After that's done, an exclusive interview with Lars Ulrich. But for now, please say hello to Robert Trujillo, Lars Ulrich, Kirk Hammett, and Papa Head. Hey, James. Good to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Metallica!
This is not a show. This is Soundcheck. They want to hear us fuck stuff up and yell at each other and fire people or something like that. How you guys doing? This is what we wear for Soundcheck. Isn't that exciting? How's it sounding, man? Glad you like it. Talking to these guys, though. Big difference. What do you want to work on? Name that tune. What? Hey. All right. Baseball going on. There's a baseball game going on, huh? All right, what are we gonna play? 15 hours for this? All right. I didn't drive. I flew. They make planes now, you know. Oh, you were in high school, so you can't fly? What does that mean? You skipped school so you could come here. I won't say your name out loud then. You're 15? Oh, you're 18. Oh, okay. So you look pretty big, man. Play football? Lacrosse? Oh, yeah. All right. So do you guys play Metallica in the dressing room? Before you go out and play? And like smash heads and stuff? Right on. Hey, you play lacrosse too? All right. What, you're a chef? You just make mac and cheese? Oh. Okay. That's better than I could do. I can barbecue anything though. You know? That's my domain, the barbecue. All right, we're gonna play something else. That's better. Why is everyone looking at me? We're just doing a sound check. What the hell? Look at those guys. What are you guys gonna play? Turn the light on again.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's better right here. The reflection. Somebody getting fired? All right, if we fire somebody, you got to fire somebody out there. No one's getting fired, man. Everyone's welcome. Okay, let's play a song. What do we need to work on? Work on the drum solo. Sounds familiar. Or the other one? It all sounds the same. That's what Soundcheck's like, baby. Woo!
Hey, hey.
So, does Soundcheck sound good? Are we ready for touring? Are we tour ready? All right. Hey, thanks for coming and hanging out, you guys. It helps get the vibe going. Thank you.
All righty. Hey, hey. James, was that all right? Did you have fun?
I can't hear you. Hold on.
Did you have fun?
Absolutely.
Great to see you. Did you guys have fun? Thank you again for coming out. We want to thank everybody for watching from wherever it is that they are watching Metallica now that we're live. Are you guys going to be here in Baltimore tomorrow? Are you going to do other shows on the tour? We're going to show you a video in just a moment. Lars and I, an interview. But we want to thank you guys for coming out. Lars, thanks, brother.
This is our new singer, Lou. Do you want to? Is there a particular Metallica song you want to sing?
So fucking what? Well, maybe some other time. But thank you for coming out, and remember, whether you're coming out to World Wired Tour, wherever you are on the planet, please support live music. Go out and see musicians, support them. They'll make your life better. I'm Lou Brutus and Sirius XM. Thank you so much for coming out. This is Metallica, now that we're live. I'm Lou Brutus from Sirius XM, and I am very happy to be joined by Lars Ulrich from Metallica. Lars, how are you?
You know what, I'm doing fine. Always nice to see you, Brutus. Thanks for having me.
Well, you know what? It's kind of cool that this tour is beginning, at least the North American portion, in Baltimore. Tell me about playing Hammerjacks, a great nightclub here years ago in a legendary place.
Yeah, that was right after Washington and Hamilton let the troops out of Yorktown. There was a little place on the side where we were driving by with horse and carriage called Hammerjacks. Wow. Ride the Lightning. Hang on a second, that's just got to register here. Ride the Lightning, so that was in the spring of 85. It was our first real run in America. You know, we had a management and a record company and major labels, and we had tour buses, and we had a crew and all that stuff, and we were out playing and just living the dream. We were 19, 20, 21 years old. I don't remember a lot, but I remember that it was a lot of fun. And every night was an adventure, and every night was just an excuse to live every fantasy that you had dreamt of for years as an awkward, alienated, disenfranchised teenager. And there we were in the thick of it in the mid-'80s. Just, you know, it was like Hammerjacks was the biggest venue in the world, if you know what I mean. And we were living the dream. So it was good times.
Well, let's take that memory and now flash ahead to the kickoff of this tour in Baltimore. Tell me about the logistics and the build-up, not only from a musical standpoint for the core, the members of the band, but also integrating it with all of these crew people in this extremely large production in multiple stages that are leapfrogging around the country.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're super excited to be kicking off our North American run here on Wednesday. But I guess if you include, you know, all the Americas, then I guess internally we sort of look at this as show 4 because we did the 3 shows down in Mexico City in March with the setup, pretty much the same setup. I mean, there's a few tweaks and a few bells and whistles that have been added and so on. But so essentially it's show 4 on the stage, and the stage is a sort of a related, I think it's like a first cousin to the stages that we played, the AT&T, the Super Bowl gig at AT&T in San Francisco about a year and a half ago, and up in Minneapolis when we opened the new Viking Stadium last summer. So it's a continuation of that. It's big. I mean, it's really big. I mean, it's really fucking huge, as it should be, by the way. But I think the main thing for us, which is so cool, is that generally when you play sort of stadiums, outdoors, or festivals, or parking lots, or fields, or whatever, generally you play inside inside a structure, and we've finally done away with that, and there's no roof over us, so it's really cool you just feel like you're more accessible and more closer to the audience, and there's a different kind of vibe. So all the shenanigans and the video screens and the lights and all that are sort of behind us rather than above us, and it just gives a different kind of vibe. And listen, especially it'll be a different kind of vibe when it starts raining, which eventually it will do. But we had no rain in San Francisco in the month of February last year, which was a minor miracle. Obviously, we had no rain. There may have been some moisture, but there was no rain inside the new Viking dome up there in Minneapolis. We had 3 shows in Mexico City without any rain at all. Obviously, it will rain at some point over the next 25 shows. We're fine with that. But when we talked about it a few months ago, Hetfield said, listen, if the fans get wet, why shouldn't we get wet? So it's sort of, I guess, the same spirit as Hammerjacks 30 years ago. It's, we're in it with the fans, and we try to make it within a stadium as kind of intimate as we can. And, it's a big production. We are, like you said, leapfrogging. They're setting up in Philadelphia, just up the road right now. And for those of you out there that don't know what leapfrogging means, basically so there's an A system and a B system, and we're here in Baltimore in the A system. The B system's being built in Philadelphia, and then the A system will go to, I guess, Giant Stadium on Sunday, and the B system goes to the next, so they leapfrog. It's not something you do when you play in arenas, indoors, but when you play stadiums, that's the way most people do it. And listen, it's exciting. We were just talking before we went on air that I don't think we've been to Baltimore since Hammerjacks. We may have, but I don't have a recollection. I think all the arena shows we've played were down in D.C., and we played RFK with Guns, and we played RFK with Van Halen.
Cap Center a couple of times.
Cap Center, that's right.
Cap Center, that's gone.
And down in Largo.
Yes.
That's right,
yeah.
Largo. Isn't that where Dave Grohl is from? Something like that?
He's from North Virginia,
Yes,
but it's very close by.
And that's the place. One time when we played in Largo, I took the train there. I was up in New York City, and I took the train, and I got off at Largo, and the venue was 2 minutes away. And I guess there's another place called Merriweather Post Pavilion.
One of the greatest sheds, outdoor arenas in the country. I love that place. It's a great spot.
So we have obviously rich history here, and have played lots of great shows in the general area. And obviously, if you cast the net a little wider, there's a Norfolk, and there's some shows in Virginia, and so it's nice to be back in this part of the country, and the sun is shining, and the sun is shining tomorrow, from at least what my little app says. So I think it's all going to be good.
Is there anything in this production, and I have to be careful how I set this up because I don't want to give anything away that you would rather not, but is there anything that you yourself are going to be doing as part of the production that maybe Metallica fans have not seen on stage before?
We're going to play all the songs Titan and Time. Coming to you live and direct from Baltimore, the new improved Metallica. No, all kidding aside, I mean, obviously there's a few, like I hear myself say, shit blows up. There's giant video screens. There's, there's some kind of interactive stuff. I guess there's 2 or 3 the things that spring to mind, but I guess maybe I shouldn't give them away. We, for the Facebook event tonight, actually one of the songs has one of those elements in it. We were sort of going back and forth a couple of days ago about whether we should give it away or not. So I don't want to give it away by saying we're not going to give it away, but you'll have to tune in and see wherever you are on this planet. Yeah, I mean, there are some things. I mean, obviously, there's only so much you can do, especially when you take the roof away, because a significant part of those things you can do end up hanging from the roof. But like I said before, we feel there's a newfound, I don't know if freedom is the right word, but it's just a newfound vibe to not have the roof over us, and we're really enjoying that. And listen, we've got the Snake Pit, which should be no great surprise. And when you're playing in the stadium to 50,000 people, obviously the word intimacy is maybe not the first word you think of, but I do think that we do everything we can to make a big fuck-off place like that seem as intimate as possible. And, certainly, at AT&T last year, the baseball stadium there, you get, the newer stadiums have the stadiums from 20, 30 years ago were a little harsher to play, and I think that both in baseball and in football, that as the newer stadiums, they have a tendency to be more curved like this rather than like this, and so it's more bowl-like, I guess. And so these bigger places become, dare I say, slightly more intimate as time rolls along. But there are a few shenanigans that are going to happen tomorrow night and Wednesday at the first show, and I guess tune into wherever you tune into to find out what they are.
Or come to the shows.
Yeah, come to the show. Okay. Even better. Good plug.
Hell yeah.
Just picked it up like that, like a true professional. Come to the show.
Lars, I've been there for some really incredible Metallica gigs. I was there in Tuktoyaktuk with you guys, and Grimey's Basement, and the Freddie Mercury tribute show, and the Million Man Mosh, and all these things. And I have to explain to anybody who is watching or listening to this right now that this is a sincere question and something that we've discussed before. Where have you guys gotten on the possibility of Metallica becoming the first band to perform in space? Because we are now at the dawn of, SpaceX is going to be taking some people around the moon in the not too distant future. I know you guys have seriously spoken about this. Where might that stand at this point?
Well, actually, on the day off between Baltimore and Philadelphia.
Don't tell me you're going to space now.
On Thursday, we figured instead of having just a boring, predictable day off, we were going to just take. Elon is now on speed dial, and we're going to meet. And living in San Francisco, obviously, which is the frontier for the future, the gateway to the future. Obviously, all those things are sort of being planned around San Francisco to a degree. So I feel that we're as close to that as we can be, and there's a few feelers out to a few people. Nothing worth giving away yet. The headline, Metallica promises to play in space, can certainly be derived out of this sort of wishy-washy answer that I'm giving you right now. But I don't
danced around.
Right. I don't want to really commit to anything other than to say that I think you know us better than most, and know that if there really is a possibility for this to happen, that we will happily be at the very front of that line, and that I think we've shown over the last few years or decades or whatever that we that sense of spirit and that sense of adventure still burns in us, and that we would love to and would bend over backwards to make anything, always do, to make anything out of the ordinary happen. So watch this space, as they say.
Lars, always great to see you.
Right
Safe
back at
travels. Safe travels on the tour.
Safe space travels.
There you go.
If that becomes applicable one day. All right.
That's Lars Ulrich. I'm Lou Brutus from SiriusXM. Thanks for joining us, Metallica, now that we're live from Baltimore, formerly the home of Hammerjacks.